One little, two little, three little Indians, four little, five little, six little. All right, buckle up. You get the point. We sound good. This one goes Gen Z Watching a Recession by Gerbert's Void. Gerbert Johnson, this dude's really funny. Smart young gentleman. Right here, though, this kind of sets the tone for this video. The description goes, Zoomers are happy to see it burn. It's slop they were not even able to participate in. Yeah, gonna blow this guy up and see how Gen Z really feels about this whole deal. And I'm sure, we're all gonna have similar thoughts on this dude.
Young people, why Generation Z should care about a stock market crash at all. If you're young and you care, you're a moron. You're being gaslit by boomers. At a certain point, you have to realize the growth of the stock market, the performance of index funds, has very little to do with the prosperance of the people, especially young people. I couldn't care less that the stock market is falling. In fact,
He goes, in fact, I'm elated. I'm ecstatic. Let it fucking, let it cook. Especially if you don't own anything anyways. I mean, that's probably where he's going with this. Hold on.
happy. When I see red on the S&P, I jump in the air and shout for glee. Retail owns a very small minority of any publicly traded company. The rest are asset managers, banks, and other massive corporations. It's a corporate oligarchy. It's a separate financial class. Young people can't afford to save for an emergency, let alone invest. You say, well, I have a 401k. I occasionally put in a Roth IRA, something like this. Doesn't matter because you won't withdraw that for another 30 plus years anyway. So that shouldn't matter to you. If you're taking spot positions or you're trading, you're calling the market, that's your fault. You need to take responsibility for that. Here's who it matters.
He goes, that's your fault. I love the day trading thing. It literally is gambling. It really is. Unless you're just one of those total geeks who's got like 4 computers out and you know one of those dudes who's like able to play like 3 games at once and like code. Unless you're that guy, day trading is some risky shit. Very risky. I mean, it's just gambling. You notice how gambling is literally it's like the last hope. Gambling. Yeah, that's day trading. So this guy's good. This guy's smart. Smart young gentleman.
Matters for the financial class themselves and boomers. Don't care. Fuck them. We have continued to suffer for their indulgence. They can figure it out. They're well acquainted with working hard, pulling themselves up by the bootstraps, and going into a job, giving a firm handshake. So that's who it matters for. If you're young and you care, you think, oh no, red, bad, snap out of it. It's being implanted in your head. It doesn't, I don't know what else to say. If you think these things actually equate to real value for real people, we just view things fundamentally different. I see slop. I see a fake economy. I see artificially inflated assets. I am happy to see it burn. Generation Z has been boned from the beginning. There has been no real path to building wealth for young people. Now, I'm all about having a good attitude, taking responsibility, keeping yourself accountable, not making excuses, but there is a reality.
He's 1,000% correct. I actually I saw like a little meme kind of deal, right? And because I'm a millennial, I'm 35. This dude's got to be early 20s. But it said, since we're 12, so when I was 12, it was like we watched 2 buildings just get blown up, 9/11. And then by the time we were old enough to hit the workforce, the first recession, it's been just like a nonstop thing. But think about this, though. Gen Z hopped in, and it's just all been bad. Just all of it. Yeah, I know. I thought that was kind of crazy, though. It was just the generation before them, whatever, the alpha males. Good luck.
And the reality has to be confronted and accepted, and this is it, is that we've been boned. Under endless inflation, which we have had, you cannot save money because it constantly loses value. So the game becomes to take the money and put it into assets while they are purchasable, while they are affordable, while they're at a good price, as fast as possible, because they will, for the most part, endlessly appreciate under the endless inflation with some dips, but they will appreciate indefinitely. The problem is that Gen Z was locked out of this game from the start. Toddlers when '08 happened, just entering the workforce when 2020 happened, unless you're like a...
Yeah, see, that's what I was getting at with the that's exactly what I was just saying. Like Gen X was like the last kind of people to have that promise, although that kind of got lied to too in a sense. But it's really the millennials and Gen Z, but with millennials, we kind of had that little sweet spot where like college was still a pretty viable option. You know, it seemed like a smart thing to do. But the way he put that, though, it's like, could you imagine going into the workplace during 2020? I remember I was part-time working at a restaurant. All the young kids there, they're like, dude, I'm missing graduation. It's like they spent their whole life in school, can't even graduate. It's like an online tip your hat shit. I remember being like, yo, I didn't really care for school at all, but that's pretty fucking nuts. Anyways, I was just thinking about that. He's got a point, though. He's got a fucking point. If I were that generation, I think it's all bullshit, too. That's all I'm trying to say.
As a millennial, maybe that's a little different. There's no entry for us. We can't afford anything. The cost of living rapidly approaches the average income, especially after 2020. And we're just told to work harder by older people. They can lose all their money. I don't care. Why would I care? Oh no, the line went down. It doesn't mean anything. The economy is fake and slop. The jobs are fake. Surveys are done. Half of people can't even conceive what their job does, why it means anything.
He goes, the jobs are fake. Actually, this guy's good. Think about this. We have entered an era where people talk to you basically through a phone. You're probably listening to this right now or watching on a phone. High probability. Maybe it's on the TV. There's a chance. To random strangers talk on the internet. There's a chance that I make more than some dude who went to college and has a real job. That makes zero sense. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. He's got a point, man. I want to see where he's going with this. That's what world we live in, though. That's all I'm trying to say. Where the fucking dog walker can make more. Yeah.
Oh, I'm a project manager. Okay, what do you do? Well, we create an interface in which the team can work more efficiently towards bringing people together in a cohesive... It's like, I'll tell you what your job is. It's adult daycare. It's the fake job to bridge the fake money to the people so they don't crash out and just to keep it going, to keep the slop going. Some people might say this is just a loser, low IQ position. Oh, you're just a brokey, so you want to pull everyone down with you. Nah, not really. I'm actually a bright, handsome young man.
Yeah.
I could probably best you at a competition of speed mathematics.
No, he said speed mathematics. It's fucking awesome.
Or fucking. A lot of times the fake jobs even make the most money. The connection to real value has been severed. Green charts does not mean your life is better. Does not mean civilization is better. It's slop. It means nothing. Young people are boned from the start. There's no way most people can afford a house, even if they make six figures. you can't even buy a house with 6 figures. It used to be, oh, you're rich if you made 6 figures.
I was just thinking about something. The fake job thing. No offense, but there are people out there whose full-time job is to give you a parking ticket. Think about that. Yeah. There's people's full-time job to collect money from you. Not just the parking tickets. I'm doing taxes. I did my taxes. Yeah. Somebody's full-time job is to make sure I paid my share. Yeah. And then they probably moonlight at nighttime as, giving out parking tickets. So that's great. Just saying.
Young people are living in their cars and shit. It used to be homeless people were all like drug addicts, schizophrenics. They had to have real problems. Now, if you're a young person, you just came across a little bit of misfortune, you don't have a great support system, like you can't live with your parents or mooch off some sort of relative. You're still working. You're not like a colossal fuck up. You're not doing heroin. You work and you can't afford a place to live.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is there used to be a point in time where you could be a drug addict. 15, 20 years ago, you could be a full-blown drug addict and still afford an apartment. Yeah. How do I know this? Not because I was a drug addict, but I knew plenty of people. Full-blown fuck-ups. Just legitimately pillheads, heroin addicts, you name it. Still could pay rent. I know. The good old days, man.
That's how it works. Because it is that bad. We did get there. Everything is so inflated.
Oh, we're here, baby.
But economists say that's good. But no, the economists say that it's actually bad because when the market falls, the aggregate demand, the Keynesian economics, it requires constant inflation, the GDP grows. Shut the fuck up. Shove it up your ass. So the model of...
It gives me hope. I have hope. I have faith in the young people. There's plenty of them like this out here. It's awesome.
Constant inflation that we've adopted for the last century, where now young people, it is a pipe dream for them to ever afford a house. Real estate is in the hands of massive corporate investors. That's good. No, that's good. High GDP. Good. With a Keynesian model, the Gerbian model indicates that I should roundhouse kick you in the fucking mouth. You're a moron.
Yeah, fucking drop kick you. Oh.
Economy is a fake science. I don't care. Oh, an economist said this. An economist. They're studying the economy, the charts, the graphs. They're super smart. Here's what I hear when you say an economist. Oh, so a retard said this. Oh, so there's this. Hear me out. No. There's this charlatan retard who went and he got his degree in slop. He's got this opinion that contradicts everything you're seeing with your own two fucking eyes. You gotta listen to this guy. You'll change your. You gotta. Oh, my ears are just perked up ready to hear this economist. Now look, I'm trying to be entertaining. I'm trying to project out the
He's doing a great job.
Zoomer soul, the Zoomer perspective. The way I feel, I'm not that smart. Economics is a science of statistic contrivances to prove a result that was already decided upon. The Gerbian model suggests that I plant explosives in your house because when you get rid of the aggregate it actually everything gets better. It's very simple. People will turn to alternate theories, different ways of looking at things, when what you told them works and is right very clearly doesn't work, and they're still suffering and struggling. Constant inflation has proven to Generation Z that it does not work. The rubber's starting to hit the road here with that whole idea. Young people can't save money. Even if they could, it would be inflated away. They have no path forward to.
Well, like he was saying earlier, where like you have, it's like this game of constantly get the money and put it into assets. Because I'm somebody who likes to actually have, I don't even have a cash. I like to have cash, but that's stupid, right? I put 10, like let's say I got 10 grand in a shoebox. You know, in 10 years, it's going to be 10 grand in a shoebox. You know, so now I'm 35 and I still have that like habit of actually wanting cash. So I find myself every time I get a good amount of money, I'm just like putting a lot of it in gold because I want to have it. But isn't that, it's like so strange though. He's got a point. Like it is this weird game of like right when I get paid, if I have anything left over, I have to put that money into something every month. You're just going, okay, I got to do 4 divided by 10. It's stressful.
Own anything. They're in perpetual debt slavery. And the economists say it's good. Oh, ask an economist what they think about the Federal Reserve. Oh, it's here to help us to stabilize and direct our economy. Okay, sure, guy. That's reassuring. I'm very glad to hear that. Why are the things around me devoid of substantial value? I'm surrounded by microplastics, and I have to work forever and still be in debt. Huh, that's weird. Oh, I'm sure glad they're stabilizing our economy. I'm over it. I'm happy to see it burn. It needs to all come down. We've been kicking this can down the road forever. People they walk around with this sense of normalcy like it's the 90s, and they'll just go to work, get a good job, buy a house, get a wife. It's not, the path is not there for Gen Z. It just isn't.
It's so nuts because like it's true. Like anybody this dude's age who, and unfortunately there's I don't want to say a lot of them, but I still see people even my age, 35, who are still trying to live life as if we're in the 70s or 80s or even the 90s. When it's like, yo, all of that is way out the window. Like there is no sense in even trying to live that way. He was a bright young man. Smart gentleman.
You can't do it. It was stolen from you. And especially after 2020. I mean, young people, some of them have this Stockholm syndrome. It's some real pathological shit where they defend the system that hates them and that is stabbing them in the back. Now, when it comes to Trump, because that's why this stuff's crashing, is because of tariffs. I don't know. We'll see what happens. My indicators are kind of in different directions because on one hand, Bill Ackman says he doesn't like it, and that means it's probably good. But on the other hand, we will realistically see prices of everything increase, and we'll have to see just how inflationary it is. It could be a problem because people are already struggling, right? And you know, I don't know how I feel about the guy himself. All of this, even if it's good for the economy, it could just end up being it could just be a way for us to go to war in the Middle East better or something. So
He just goes, could be a way to go to war in the Middle East. It is a question, though, where it's like, how long does this go for? You know what I mean? Like, how long? What's peak inflation? I want to know. How low can we go? I want to know. And when's the last time deflation ever happened? Probably never. What, the Great Depression? I'm going to get some comments before. I got to hear them out. We still got a little bit more left here. It goes, recessions mean nothing to people who have nothing to lose. Yeah, that's everybody. Most people are like, who gives a shit? Ain't this like the third once in a lifetime recessions we've lived through? Yeah, it's the funniest thing. Gen Z has been living in a recession since the beginning, LOL. It never ended for us. Yeah, that's what I was saying. At least, I guess millennials too, though. Like, I guess there was maybe like 5 years where it was like, oh yeah, go to college. It's like fucking, yeah, jobs and houses are still affordable. And it's like, whoosh, you know, just immediately. But Gen Z came into the game at 2020. That's phenomenal. Let me see. 2 years ago, you'll own nothing and be happy. He goes, now, shit, now we have nothing either. No, okay. He goes, the market is crashing. Good. Boomers can't retire. Good. You'll never own a home. You never had a chance. Prices will skyrocket. I don't buy anything. Historians going to skip our generation. We are simultaneously the most comfortable and the most poorest generation ever. That's pretty accurate.
So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen, Pilled, with that. But in the meantime, I'm happy to watch it all go down 50%, all of it. Psh, that's not realistic. A good 20% drop. I love it. I go, no. People say, oh, inflation's down. It doesn't really matter because it stacks on top of all the other inflation. Inflation's down doesn't mean it's negative. It doesn't mean it's zero. It means it's still going, and it's year over year. Now, I'm no economist, which I actually think is a good thing. But after something like '08 and even 2020, I reckon there's maybe supposed to be deflation, a large deflation.
It's like never going to happen. Or maybe it will. I don't know. But it just doesn't seem to align with the shareholders. And I think that's great.
Where prices actually decrease, the inflation rate drops below zero. Now, economists will say this is terrible, this is worse than inflation. But after '08, dollars just continued being minted, and it seems like it just bailed out this financial class that was leveraged. We haven't had any deflation for the past 100 years because that was part of the Great Depression. It's a real red herring there, because we've seen what incessant price increases do, and it's not good. The wages can't keep up. After these events, there needs to be deflation, where prices actually decrease. Would you imagine that? Things are not better than ever. It's neo-serfdom. You could say these people live a standard of life below a medieval peasant. In 15th century England, workers worked 14 weeks out of the year. They owned their land completely. Now, they were paid pennies, but it was worth something.
So yeah, back when a penny, you could actually flick a penny at somebody and like, oh, thank you. Thanks, sir. 14 weeks out of the year. I don't know about that, but I'd like to think that would be possible.
They owned their homes, their land, and they worked less than half the year. And it's during the rest of the year where magnificent cathedrals were built around the country, because this leisure allowed for real culture and real art to be produced, wonderful things to be made, because it is this free time that allows us to create. Financial strangulation of this kind is a step away from death, a step away from murder. You're not able to live your life. Is it dramatic? Maybe a little, but it's true. People wonder, oh, the architecture doesn't look as good, the music.
He goes, is it dramatic? Yeah. He's got a point, though, man. The worst stress ever is financial stress. Or health. Yeah, poor health. Like I just had a tooth pulled. Oh my! I can barely even talk. I'm powering through this right now. Like, my shit is yanking, and it cost a lot of money. And I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, I gotta pay the government and my teeth. Well, that's what you get for being an asshole, not taking care of yourself. Okay, let's get some comments out of the way. I'll leave Gerbert's information down below. He's a funny guy. I like him. Black Economist Queen is talking. Sitting, listening, learning. Okay. Worked as a software engineer. Laid off. The boomer slave programming is so strong and pervasive that I was called lazy. I worked an average of 45 to 50 hours per week. Liked my work. I didn't slack off. sacrificed my sleep. The subset of software engineers that survived the layoffs, they call my behavior lazy, coasting at work, not doing enough. As much as people want to blame the current state of affairs on boomers, an equal amount of blame is put on the workers that get paid a salary, not hourly, and insist on doing free, non-mandatory overtime. These brainwashed drones have turned 80-hour work weeks into the norm. The management class is celebrating that little worker bees will work for crumbs. Meanwhile, they have destroyed the workforce for their contemporaries. My entire life has been a recession. My mouth hurts too much for this shit. No need to wait, what is it? He goes, no need to refer to my intellectual capacity in a diminutive manner. Forgot what movie that's from. Anyway, solid talk. I'll leave Gerbert's information down below, but Jesus Christ. He's got a point. Now, somebody like me, 35 and up, 30 and up, we're going on. You know, we're all kind of in the same boat. But here's something I want to end with. I realized recently that there are a lot of people 35, 37, 42 who literally have nothing. They have nothing saved. No 401k, no Roth IRA, no stocks and bonds. Barely even have $5,000 in a bank account. We're talking 38-year-olds here. 42-year-olds. And I like to be positive. I like to think, hey, you know, they can bounce back. But I'm sitting here going like, are they really though? You know what I mean? Like, this isn't just a young person's problem. This is and for him he's absolutely right. Like, if you're young, like he was talking about, like, you really shouldn't give a shit. You know, when I was 22, I literally was like, I'm 22, fuck off. Like, I don't care. And you shouldn't. But people, I just can't believe how many people don't have shit saved. Nothing. $5,000. You're 38. That's all you have. I guess fuck it. Who gives a shit? Anyway, solid talk. Unreal. All right, my mouth is killing me.